It is time to get raw. It is time to go down. We are here for the third episode of the Turnbuckle Tavern's RAWDOWN, your only source for WWE content that you'll ever need in the world of professional wrestling podcasting. I am your host, Young Anthony of the Titantron podcast, joined as always by my co-host, the OG Fig Kid, Thomas Montalto. How are you doing, my man?
I'm good, but I just want to know, where are we going down, or with who, or okay, next. Let's just
We
move
don't
on.
have to talk about that, but
Okay.
Nevertheless, we are here for the third installment of what is turning into our only real source of WWE content. Some good talk, mostly bad talk, but nevertheless, we are ready for the third episode. But before that, we need to talk about the Turnbuckle Tavern because we are doing so much great work over here, all of us. Make sure that you're subscribing to our content. Make sure you're leaving likes and comments and whatever else you need to do. Plus, if you leave a good review on Apple Podcasts, you get yourself a sticker. I don't know how it works. Tom is usually the guy in charge of that. And if Tom is sending you stickers, then you're going to want it. I hear he even signed some of them, but you didn't hear
Mike
it from
sending us stickers, but we will sign them.
Oh, Mike sent. Oh, then in that case, you really want to get them, but
then you'll get them faster.
That is true. That is true. You don't want Tom sending you stuff. Nevertheless, I mean, I think we're ready to get into the talk of this episode. And I want to start things off because we haven't touched base on it. We didn't make any videos about it yet, but we need to get into the news outside of the ring.
Yeah,
because we
pretty
have
big
had
news this week.
Yeah, I mean, another Black Thursday has happened. We had a nice conference call. They're talking about all these earnings in the WWE. They're doing great. And then we find out that we have another round of releases. I don't have the exact list in front of me, but I know that the big names, I could tell you off the top of my head, are Karrion Kross and Scarlett, Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Nia Jax, Eva Marie, so many other names that they had so much potential, and yet WWE has just squandered on it. And of course, now that we are up to about 70 released wrestlers within this year, are you really surprised?
No, and I just read today there's about 10 more releases coming this week, maybe. So
it's
whether
ridiculous.
That's true or not, I have no clue because it's from the dirt sheets, and we all know what the dirt sheets are. But we've seen it be reported before, and it's been happening. But this is here's the main problem: Karrion Kross and Keith Lee are two guys Vince felt the need to repackage and try to make when they weren't broken.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you trying to fix things that aren't broken and breaking them and making the fans disconnect from things that work, that were built up in NXT or on the indies? And you've lost total control of what you're doing. You have no clue anymore when you're trying to do this. So these guys, I honestly feel like Keith Lee and Karrion Kross were gifted by being released instead of being forced to stay there at this point, because I could see possibly these guys are going to go somewhere and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anywhere they go, they're going to go back to their former persona, and they're going to be very, very entertaining. Now, if I'm going to be honest, here's a hot take. The only reason that Nia Jax was around as long as she was is because she was The Rock's cousin. Because let's be honest,
I don't think that's
she
a hot
hurt
take.
people. She's terrible. And I don't like to see people get fired. She should have been sent down to the performance center or had somebody work with her a long time ago, because, I was never entertained. She wasn't. I hate shitting on somebody's profession and what they do. I really do. But she just wasn't good in the ring.
But that's the thing. It's like, we hate shitting on them, but if you haven't improved in years that you've been on the main roster, then we're kind of inclined to.
Yeah.
It's like low-hanging fruit. Like you just need to, she's been this just obstacle in the women's division that no one is able to make her look good. Hasn't improved. She's horrible in the ring. She's even worse on the mic. I mean, like you said, it's not really a hot take that she's The Rock's cousin. She was sticking around, but that's why you look at someone like Keith Lee and you look at someone like Karrion Kross, and I can't imagine why they would be in the same class as someone like Nia Jax or Eva Marie. What is WWE not seeing in this talent? And to your point about the fact that they were just repackaging them, This reminds me of someone else who they released not too long ago, Aleister Black, now known as Malachi Black. You
Yeah,
know,
handing
they
them
were
over
going through this
to
whole gimmick change, and now
yeah.
all of a sudden, you know, now we have Malachi Black showing up in AEW. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm surprised that someone who is getting repackaged like Bearcat Lee or you know, carrying Cross without Scarlet is necessarily surprising, but it's just dumb, you know. And I don't even know who you could release on top of this. You know, you mentioned that there's 10 other names. Is there even 10 other names that can be cut without having to, you know, cut into the main stars that you have on a weekly basis? And I'm sure they're willing to cut them regardless, but it's just ridiculous. I can't believe they cut them. And like you said, they're going to do great regardless of where they go.
There's so many other people on the roster, and I hate to be mean, and I'm not going to really drop names, or maybe I will, that I would cut before Keith Lee and Karrion Cross.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But like, okay, not everybody that was cut wasn't somebody that could have been a star. Like, I guess they just realized cut their losses on Eva Marie. As sweet as I hear she is,
Right.
but Mia Yim, like, she would have been great if they let
Mhm.
her be Mia Yim. Ember
Yeah,
Moon. What about Ember Moon? Like,
right.
here's the proof the difference between what Triple H's vision is and what Vince McMahon's vision is.
Mhm. Right.
You know?
You're absolutely right.
Like,
And you know, like you said, they're gonna do great elsewhere. But for now, we got the 90 days, so we got to
yeah.
figure it out. I hear Scarlett and Karrion Cross already have signings that they're doing, so that's great for them. They're gonna get work, is the
Yeah. Oh
main thing.
yeah. No
And I'm
doubt about
sure
it.
and I'm sure
Lucha
Tony
House
Khan's looking
Party.
at a few of them. So there's nothing wrong there. But on top of this big story, because we could talk about this forever, was there anything else that happened? Because this was kind of the big story of the week. Was there any other
Wait,
news stories that you
here,
found?
here. Before we do that, Harry Smith, the guy didn't even get to debut, and they release him.
Yeah, I forgot that they had him because he was only
I
on
was
the
so
dark
looking
match.
forward to seeing him release, but from what I understand, it's probably a gift to him
Yeah,
because
honestly.
he's supposedly great in the ring. But was Frankie Monet, was she John Morrison's wife?
Yes. Yes, she is.
So she got the contract. How long till John Morrison's out of there? When is his contract up? Because they're
Honestly, like
wasting him.
it's so unfortunate, but he might be one of the ones to go next. Like it's John
What a
Morrison. Like you would
talent they
expect
have
otherwise,
there.
but I know
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I do have a couple of other newses. Apparently, Finn Balor has been pulled from performing. He's injured, and supposedly maybe it's just for precautionary reasons. They don't want him to further
Mm,
injure it. There's no real details known yet, so we'll
right.
find out what's going on with Finn Balor because he was one of the entertaining things. Do you
Yeah.
think at this point Finn Balor and these other guys are just hoping when the releases come that they're released so they could go somewhere and
I mean,
actually work?
I would assume so. I mean, you could do so much with Finn, and they just haven't capitalized on that return that
No.
he had. You
It
know,
looked
we've
like
been
they were
talking
going
about
to when
it.
he first came up because he had that new,
Yeah.
that
That's what we've been
same.
talking about on the when we were doing the SmackDown shows. Every
Yeah,
week it was always
and it
Finn
just
Balor, you know,
fizzled.
coming up with this new gimmick, and it just
Yeah.
fizzled out. And
Yep.
especially that Extreme Rules match that we don't even have to get into. But yeah,
Yeah.
he might be one of those guys. Just like, you know, time is ticking. You know what I mean?
And the other thing, apparently Vince was at the big production meeting on Monday at Raw, but he was gone by the time the show started. He did not run the show. So
Hmm.
I don't know what's up with that. Very interesting to hear.
Yeah, it's always
So
interesting to keep
so
in mind.
to leave, that's
It
all I
always
have for outside of the ring news this week.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, it's always interesting to see, like, whenever Vince is leaving, when he's here, you know, sometimes he has a meeting with everyone and then he leaves, and there's all these news. Like, you never really know who to trust, but like, still, it's pretty interesting to see like who's running the shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really it as far, and I say that's really it as if we didn't have a loaded week of news. But like, as far as the news this week, that is it for outside of the ring. But let's get into the main reason why we're here today to talk about the red brand and the blue brand. And spoiler, both shows sucked. What else is new? Let's do a quick
Yes,
rundown
for my
just to
chopping block, just skip both shows.
yeah, that you know that might be the best thing. But however, before we get into it, we just have a quick comment from the I was about to say the staple, but we already have the staple. But the staple of the comment section, Tyson himself. All
The
NXT
king of the
people have
comments section.
the king of the comments. All NXT people have 30 days. The main roster people have to wait till February. That is very true. But some of them have 30-day contracts. Some of them have 90 days. People who have been on both NXT and WWE. So it's up in the air. I'm not really sure who has what, but it's
And then there's
something
those
to.
who they forget to upgrade once they go up to the main roster.
Yeah,
So
I bet you at least a few of those names are in there. But let's move on. Let's do a quick rundown for the people that didn't watch Raw or SmackDown this week. Just some key moments. Ziggler, Rude, AJ Styles, and Omos defeated the Street Profits and RK Bro. Bobby Lashley defeated Dominic Mysterio via the Hurt Lock in order to cement his name as the fifth man on the Raw Survivor Series team. We had Drake Maverick, then Akira Tozawa, then Corey Graves, then Byron Saxton, then Drake Maverick, and then Reggie all win the 24/7 championship. Liv Morgan then defeated Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Carmella, Zelina Vega to win a title opportunity to go up against Becky Lynch in the future. And then your main event saw Seth Rollins defeat Kevin Owens via countout. And Kevin Owens turns on Big E, which I'm sure we were going to be talking about in a few. But before that, SmackDown results, not a lot to discuss here, as Shayna Baszler defeated Naomi after all these shenanigans. Los Lotharios, Humberto and Angel, not Angel Garza and not Humberto Carrillo. It's just Humberto and Angel now. They defeat Cesaro and Mansoor. Drew McIntyre defeated Ricochet, and King Woods defeats Jimmy Uso and a post-match attack from the Tribal Chief himself. Let's go with lowlights, because I'm sure that we are going to have many of them. What were your lowlights for the week? Worst parts of Raw, improvements that need to be made? Lay it on me.
One of my biggest lowlights was, and I don't know if it's a lowlight or a highlight actually, but Roman Reigns coming out in his promo and just shitting over how bad WWE is. Like, what are you like? You're just coming out in the ring on your own show and announcing how bad Raw is.
Yeah,
which it is. They're not wrong,
right, yeah.
but you're admitting it. And then he goes on to say how shitty SmackDown is, like without him there, which it is, but it is a little better with him there. But like, what are you doing that you have him out there shitting on your own company's shows? How does that ever make sense?
I get the point that it's like part of his character, but to what extent, is it really becoming like a character to just literally shitting on your company?
Yeah. I mean, that was just terrible.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, my other biggest lowlight was Cesaro jobbing.
That's ridiculous.
Like a few months ago, he's fighting Roman Reigns, and now he's just jobbing in a tag team match, forced to tag with Mansoor, and losing to Los Lotharios.
He had probably what was one of my favorite matches on the WrestleMania card, and now after that, he had the Roman Reigns match, and now he is jobbing. It's ridiculous. We are also joined by the Pro Wrestling Podcast himself, Bada Boom, realest dude in the chat room. How you doing? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's a really bad Enzo impression.
You see, it's funny that I actually knew what you were doing, because if I didn't, I would have called 911. I thought you were having a seizure there. But
so like,
it doesn't work when you don't show the feet.
Look at your face and figure out what's going on. Turn sideways.
My face.
Yeah. So you're trying to grow that ugly facial hair in again, but you're not doing the mustache?
No, the mustache just didn't come in yet. It takes a while. It starts here, and then it slowly grows up here.
So you haven't shaved the mustache since you shaved this?
No. I've shaved the mustache. I've shaved everything, but it just takes a while to come back in. I'm shaving again this weekend, but it's bad. I know it's bad. Yeah. No, I've committed to not growing the beard anymore. It's not good.
Good. All right, good.
Nevertheless,
for me.
Yeah, that would be a low light of my week, is coming to the realization that the beard is not going to work. However, I will say that the low lights for Raw and SmackDown this week, I'm going to go and say one of my biggest low lights this week and for the last few weeks is this whole thing that they're doing with Naomi. I understand, like, from a story, it's cool that she's getting involved. Finally, it's always like the hashtag Naomi deserves better or whatever. But it's like, hashtag Naomi deserves better doesn't mean just throw her in a story and call it that. This is one of the more non-interesting stories that WWE has right now, and that's saying something. You include Shayna Baszler in this too, which You really can't do anything else with Shayna Baszler right now. Like, this is all we're getting. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they keep,
Why can't Naomi be with her family?
Yeah, that's
She's
a very
married
good
in.
point.
Everybody knows that. It would be more interesting than this if they had her trying to rise up to that in the women's division. I'd have no
It would
problem with
also
that.
just make more sense. Why don't you blur the lines a little bit and actually show that they are family members? I think the only time that we've
Reality.
ever seen, reality. That's not a word here. I think the only time that Naomi and the Usos have been associated together are one, Total Divas, and two, when they did that mixed match challenge on
Yeah.
Facebook. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yep.
But as far as lowlights, I would say definitely Naomi. How could you not bring up the 24/7 championship segment? Honestly, I liked that they're doing a little something different, including the commentators now.
I was gonna
At
say,
least,
I'm gonna admit,
yeah,
for the first time, I kind of popped when Corey Graves got it.
that's true. And I popped
Like,
even more when Byron got it
I
because they
didn't
already
pop
have
at
that.
that. I hated that.
Well, no, Byron's
But
not good, but
but
I
to
like the
see
rivalry.
Corey, who we know was itching to get back in,
Yeah.
actually be allowed to take a move like that, because usually
Mhm.
when you're banned from when you're hurt like that, Vince doesn't
Right.
let you take a move. So I
Yeah.
wonder if Corey Graves is somewhere close to being cleared to return to wrestling.
That would be great. I really hope so, but knowing
That's a hot
WWE,
take. I'm just curious. Like, I don't
that
know it
is a
for a
hot take,
fact
actually.
because he did, roll a guy up, and he got rolled up, and when you're on Vince's list of you can't be touched, you're not allowed to be
Yeah.
touched. And I
Yeah.
think Corey's gonna
Remember
get issues,
Edge,
so
when
exactly,
Edge did the spear on
it's
Elias,
gonna
and
be
that was next
yeah.
Royal Rumble, he was in
Yes,
there.
exactly. So it's gonna be kinda curious to see if this goes anywhere.
Yeah,
So
that's
this the Staples intuition.
the
Should be a whole
Staples
segment on the
intuition.
RAWDOWN, the Staples intuition.
The Staples intuition. We might have
There
to
you
make a
go.
graphic for that.
I think we need a graphic. We gotta get chat on that.
Yeah, another
The
graphic
best
that we do
graphic
need to
maker in
make.
the game.
We have some comments.
Let's
If
do this.
yeah, when is
All
when are
right,
you
I
getting
mean,
that 24/7 title?
I would do that. When I'm done doing jumping jacks.
Yeah.
This
Very first.
this is
Yes,
Corey's
because he
very
won
first.
the tag team championship down in NXT with
That's right.
was it Adrian
Yeah.
Neville? Tyson will know more than I do. I thought of the same as
See, and
Corey.
Matt is with it too. Matt's a
Yeah.
smart guy, so
Shout out to
you know,
Matt's in the cooler, by the way.
yeah, the extra
Um,
cooler show. If you're not listening to it, go on any of your podcast apps and download it. Awesome,
Pod
awesome
Foundation.
show. Yes, Carmella touches
Carmella
him
touched
all.
me.
Whoa,
Whoa, whoa,
we're
whoa, whoa, whoa.
PG here.
PG show. We're the Raw
Right?
down. Damn it, we need to be PG.
Yes,
That would be your celebration, jumping jacks.
that's right. I'll be like Simon Dean. Was that his name?
Yes. Wow, I'm surprised you remembered that.
Dude, I'm older than you and have seen a lot more than you.
Yeah, but
I'm
like
the one who's supposed to be surprised when you
usually the
remember this
older
stuff.
people will remember like the older, like the
Stop
80s and
calling me
stuff.
old.
Well,
Or else I might
what
bring
do you
up your
think you are?
dad's sack again.
Oh God, don't start this. I'm gonna see the hashtags already. Let's move on to chopping block. What is one
Wait,
segment that
wait.
you would cut
Okay,
from
I
this
have
week?
something for the chopping block. How about
Let me hear it.
last week when I wasn't on the RAWDOWN show and I'm watching it later on, and this guy says he's happy I'm not on the show, anything to get rid of the OG Fit Kid, to
Listen,
not
you
have to
need
work
to
with him.
make the guest
I sit
feel like
around.
they're
Wait.
welcome,
I
and
sit
I
around. I
was
text
kind of
this guy.
correct.
I compliment this guy because he does a damn good job, and then he
Thank you.
does a Pearl Harbor job on me. Stabs me in the back, attacks me from
You
behind.
sound like Gorilla Monsoon. He Pearl
Exactly.
Harbored
So
him.
glad. See, you got it. Kudos
You
to
see?
you.
I get it. I get it.
Yes. I'm glad
Oh
you
my
caught my
goodness.
reference because that's exactly what I was doing when I said that.
I've watched WrestleMania 1
Yes,
a little
you're
bit
right.
too many times. Hashtag don't call me old.
Hey,
We got to make that a shirt.
no,
That's a shirt in the making.
dad sack. So that's what
As far
Anthony
as
was when a lot of this stuff was happening.
yeah, that's why you
Like,
need to
you
check
weren't
out the
even
Classic Match
alive at the same
Classroom.
time Gorilla Monsoon was, were you?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't even alive when he did the like the mid 90s stunt where Diesel ripped his leg off.
So he passed away before you were born.
When did he pass away? This
Hold
is
on, I'll look
something
it
to
up
the check
live
on
on you.
air. While you do that, I will say that my chopping block would have to be that Naomi segment because it was awful. And
He died October 6th, 1999.
wow, no, I wasn't alive.
Wow, that's a shame.
Yeah.
At least
Well,
you've gone back and listened to the greatness of what was Gorilla Monsoon.
I have Gorilla
The
Monsoon
irresistible
and
force
yeah.
meeting the immovable object.
There you go. You got it.
Almost
I will say
counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You want the winner's purse. Love Gorilla Monsoon.
and Jesse Ventura are my two
Yes.
favorite commentators of all time.
And Bobby Heenan.
I like Bobby Heenan, but I prefer Ventura over Heenan.
Okay.
That's a hot take, but
that is a hot take. I love them both.
Because my favorite feud of all time, like old feud, is Hogan and Andre, and I love when Ventura was like stirring the pot with the trophies, when he was like, "Andre, your trophy is smaller than his trophy." He was great in those Piper's Pit segments.
But how awesome was Piper in those segments too?
He was. You're bleeding.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that when his shirt's ripped off and he's Hulk.
You're bleeding.
You're bleeding. He was so really good in that. Like he was just like a supporting character. Piper could do it all.
We should put him on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Said no one ever.
I agree. I don't disagree.
All right. It's time to go back to modern wrestling, but we will talk about some good stuff because it's time for the match of the week. What was your favorite match from this week and why?
Okay. I had one and I forgot it. Hold on.
Let's about coming prepared.
Oh, I have notes. Oh, wait, it says none. Wait, this didn't update my notes. No, I had a match of the week. What were the matches again?
The matches, I'll tell you some of the interesting ones.
I just remember there was a match. It was not that.
Lashley and Dominic, the 24/7 championship match, the Fatal 5-Way with Liv and all of them.
No, but I was super happy to see Liv go over in that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get the we had Rollins and Owens, Shayna Baszler and Naomi, Los Lotharios and Cesaro and Mansoor, Drew McIntyre and Ricochet.
Yes, that was it. Drew McIntyre and Ricochet.
Yes.
I like the version of Ricochet that we saw come out.
Yeah.
I think it would have been awesome if they would have put him over in that match.
Yeah, that was my match of the week too. It was short, but it was very good. I'm surprised the crowd didn't pop as much as I thought they would have for that Claymore, the moonsault into the Claymore.
Is Drew getting played out? Are people getting tired of him? I loved the Ricochet slap to his face.
That was everything about that segment. I like that they're doing these open challenges with Drew.
And how about this? Ricochet improved on the microphone.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't as terrible. Like he wasn't terrible at all like he was last time we saw him.
Yeah, he's been getting better. I think it's just if you put him in a position to do well, he's going to do well. If you put him in a position to do the 24/7 championship shit, he's not going to do well.
Yeah. So, but I just wonder if this was scripted or they kind of just gave him bullet points because it was much different than other times we've seen him on the mic.
You know, I don't know, honestly, because I can't tell. Because usually,
more
like,
natural.
If you're not good with your bullet points, then like I don't think you would be good with improv. But like maybe
it was more natural. It was definitely more natural. So,
it was more natural.
I'm actually going to give Ricochet my performer of the week.
Ooh, okay, nice. I mean,
unfortunately, knowing WWE, won't see anything come of it. But
yeah,
I did enjoy it for this week.
For my performer of the week, I will give it to your favorite, Liv Morgan, because I'm very happy that she is in the position that she is in, getting that championship opportunity in the future. And Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan is definitely a feud that we need right now.
Yes.
Because hot take, I'm starting to get a little sick of Bianca Belair. I'm not going to lie. I think we're seeing it too much.
Alone.
Yeah.
I really think this whole thing would have worked better with Becky's return if they made Bianca the heel.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, looking back on it now. However, I think Bianca, I think that Becky's heel run is going to work well with this feud with Liv, because Liv is the ultimate underdog, like in the women's division.
She's the only Becky wants Liv to get over.
Yes, you could even hear on commentary, like you could hear that she was putting that emphasis on Liv.
I read. Not sure how true it is that Becky wants to lose the title to Liv. So
honestly, I wouldn't put it past her. You know, she's technically held the belt since WrestleMania 35. If you want to think of it that
you're her
way.
biggest fan now.
What are you gonna do? Yes,
I
Liv
agree,
was the right
Tyson.
choice to win. And to my point about Bianca, I will say that I think that they did it really smart in kind of like taking Bianca and Becky and putting them on two different paths. Because now you have
Yeah.
Bianca with Piper Niven, Dewdrop, whatever,
Yes.
and now you have Becky with Liv. And I think those are two really strong feuds that you could go with for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
agree.
I
And
don't know
Liv
when
has
you
been
would do
so
Becky
good,
and
like
Liv.
on SmackDown, like that tease
Yeah.
of the feud that we got with her and Zelina before was it the Money in the Bank match? Yeah, it was the Money in the
Mhm.
Bank match.
Yeah.
Um, like what we've seen of Liv on SmackDown and now over on Raw. Like again, I've said it before. The thing that bothers me is that the whole SmackDown women's division was just moved to Raw, so nothing's really changed. But
Yeah.
I want Liv to get the shot because to me, I just find myself rooting for her, enjoying her.
Mhm.
Maybe she's fresh. It's just so fresh, and she's a local Jersey girl.
Yeah,
So
that's always,
she's a Jersey girl. Do, 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 do. Do you know that song? Was that from before your time?
what, is that, I'm a
Jersey
Barbie
girl.
girl. Oh,
Oh
Jersey
yeah, there
Girl?
was like a Jersey version. They used to play it on Z100 on a Z Morning
Was
Zoo.
there really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we have, it's probably because of the whole Charlotte thing. Really? I don't what do you
No.
mean by that? Like, what's the
Well, I think we're
correlation
gonna
there?
see Becky versus Charlotte come Survivor Series. They're not
Which
gonna have her
honestly,
drop the title before then.
maybe. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Becky and Charlotte this time around just because of all the backstage stuff that's been happening.
Dude, and if I'm them and I'm the producer of that match, I'm like, you two women have to go out there and work stiff as fuck. You go
Yeah.
out there and you give these people a show because they want to see it.
Well,
Listen, you remember when
that's what they did with Charlotte and Nia. You know, there was all that
Yeah.
stuff that happened, and then the
Yeah.
second match, everyone was looking forward to it because it was Charlotte and Nia. They had the
Yeah.
backstage heat, and
But
now
if you remember
they get
though,
back in the ring.
the match when Becky turned on Charlotte, that was a pretty stiff match back then.
Yeah. Hmm.
When she started attacking her with the kendo sticks at the end
Yeah.
and was supposed to turn Becky heel and she became more over than anyone in the
Yeah.
company.
I was
So,
there for that SummerSlam. She slapped her, and the crowd went crazy. It did not
yeah.
work. But it was her opening stages of that heel run, like content wise, was very good. It was just
Yeah.
received by the fans as like a heel run, a
Yeah.
face run, but nevertheless. Okay, so yeah, so performer of the week, I'll go with Liv. You are going with Ricochet. I think those are some strong picks. Definitely some picks that if you told me like a few weeks ago, I don't think we would be picking these people, but here we
True.
are. Anything can happen in the world of the WWE. Any other hot takes from this week? We got a few in, but is anything else that popped out to you this week?
No. Sorry.
I have one,
Okay, I
uh,
can't wait to hear
and
it.
I can't believe I'm already saying
Let's
this.
see how we can shoot this to shit. Go ahead.
So, oh well, my Veer comment is slowly taking form because now he has a last name, and now he's getting
Did
more
he
promo
borrow it? Is
packages.
he like Veer Carrillo? Or did he get Umberto's last name?
They took Humberto's last name and they put it with Veer. It's just a little swap. No, I will, but that's completely different. I will say, and I can't believe I'm already saying this because last week I was praising the hell out of them, but this week I will say Hit Row is just another team. With
Yeah.
everything that they did with Sammy, it's not looking good.
No.
BFAB, that's another release that we forgot to
Yeah,
mention.
another one.
What
What are
was
they
the
doing?
reasoning
What are you
behind that?
I don't
I
even know
can't
them, but you
even.
didn't give them a chance.
Yeah, it like I can't even think of a reasoning as to why she would have been released. Um, of course, there's been like the rumor of like the vaccination status that they just cut everyone who wasn't going with it. That's what I heard about like a few of them, but I don't believe it because Nia shot it down. So
Yeah, I don't believe that because I
yeah,
believe
'cause
Vince and them.
that's the only thing that I could genuinely
Listen,
think would
I'm
be a
not here
reason
to
to
get
get
into
rid of her.
politics, but I believe the
Yeah,
McMahons are on the right side of things. Like they're
yeah,
I'm not saying the right side, but they're more on the right than the left.
right, right,
So,
right.
and usually
Yeah,
they tend to be more pro like, "Hey, it's your
yeah.
choice."
Well,
So,
Tony Khan was open about that. That he was like, "I'm not mandating anything. It's up to the wrestlers."
good for him. I
Mhm.
agree with that. As a person who's vaccinated, you should have the choice to whether you want it or not.
Yep.
So,
Same here. But yeah, back to the Hit Row talk. Like I saw the segment with Sammy, and like when B-Fab was with them, it just felt different. WWE makes up different reasons every week for firing people. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like, if anyone in the comments, we have 5 viewers right now. If anyone can give me a genuine reason as to why they would have fired B-Fab and not the rest of Hit Row, I will send you a signed pair of young Tony glasses. Because I can't tell, and no one wants that, but like I can't give you a good reason as to why she was released. Like
Listen,
it's just ridiculous.
and how much could she have been making? That's not a budget reason.
Yeah,
Come on.
she literally just came up from NXT, and she is, with all due respect, a nobody compared to everyone else on the roster. How much is she
Yeah.
making? That it's a budget cut.
Exactly. She's got to be minimum, whatever the minimum guarantee
That was
downside is.
one of the worst firings that they could have done because Hit Row works as a 4-person unit. The female member gave them an edge.
Exactly.
Now that you have just 3
I mean,
guys, like, what is this going to be?
I
It's
never
just
saw them,
feel-
so I don't know that she gave them an edge, but I think it would be cool to have a woman with, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what other faction right now has that a woman that has like the differentiation? You know, we're just gonna have
America's
another
top talent.
Yeah, okay. Don't bring that here because I will shut this show down. The worst thing that AEW's done in its entire
not
run.
terrible. Stop it.
It is so bad.
Lambert is so good.
It is so bad. Lambert is good. The rest of the jabronis,
Paige
no.
Van Zant was really good last week.
Her promo was god awful, Tom.
No, my wife even liked it.
Not good.
It wasn't terrible.
It was so bad.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, she's still in the intro of the theme song. I forgot that. B-Fab,
That's right.
still in the intro of Hit Row's theme. She sings the theme song for them.
I don't think Paige was terrible last week. Do I think it was the best promo ever? No, but for her first promo,
okay, for the first promo, sure. But like, if you give
Girls
me
got potential.
if you give me a few lines, I could read them too.
If she wanted to be a full-time professional wrestler, I think she has what it takes.
None of the American Top Team wants to be a professional wrestler. I could tell that. They're doing it for the paycheck.
I think she does.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe if anyone, Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Because he has the experience.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I'm excited for the match, though. I think the 5v5 will be good.
I'm curious.
But yeah, that's my hot take of the week. Hit Row. I told Marco last week that they're a team to look out for. And now, here we are, that I am saying the complete opposite. Tyson brings up a point. Maybe they want to focus on Top Dollar, Swerve, and Adonis. I would say that, but the fact is, B-Fab wasn't taking anything away from them. If anything, she was bringing more of a spotlight to them because, I think in my opinion, Top Dollar and B-Fab were the only consistently strong people on the mic. Adonis isn't that great. Swerve is, he's pretty good.
Adrian Adonis?
Adrian Adonis.
Oh, sorry.
Ashanti the Adonis, another A name, but
do you know Adrian Adonis?
I do know Adrian.
Okay,
Adonis.
Impress me now. Who is Adrian Adonis' tag team partner in WWF when they held the tag team championships?
Oh fuck. I'm going to go with Barry Windham.
No.
Damn it.
You're not far off with that.
Because I was gonna say Mike Rotunda, but then I was also saying Barry Windham. But weren't they a tag team? Two of them?
Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda were, US Express.
Yeah. Okay, so that's bonus points. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
That wasn't my question. I'm surprised because usually you surprise me with this stuff. Dick Murdoch.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that. What was their tag name?
The North-South Connection.
Oh, I would not have gotten that.
Yeah, they had a 1-hour draw match at Madison Square Garden versus the Briscoe brothers back in the 80s.
Adonis was the one that went again in the hair v hair match, right?
Yeah, Adorable Adrian. He became Adorable Adrian. He came out with a briefcase for a while called Relax, and it said "Relax with Trudy" on it. And then all of a sudden, dude, if you want to go watch something really good, I'm going to give you something for your classic classroom show. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
I would love to see you do this. I would love you to see you do Piper's Return before WrestleMania 3. His feud with Adrian Adonis and the Flower Shop versus the Piper Pits.
Oh, that does sound fun.
Dude, if you did that, some of the stuff that's on there would never be said on TV today.
Yeah, we've already
It-
cut an episode that had some not set for today words
We'll have to
and
talk about that
phrases.
after.
We'll
But I'm
talk about
telling you,
that
go
after.
back and watch those flower shops when Piper came back,
Yeah.
and yeah, go
I
back and
love
watch
like
them.
the old like talk show segments. Like I was
Yes,
just telling you
the
Piper's Pit.
modern. Here's a hot take: the modern
Mhm.
day talk show segments have never lived up to what the ones in the mid '80s were.
No, because there's all set in the ring. They don't have any props. There's
Yeah,
no
the
characters that
barber
are
shop,
what do
the
we have?
flower shop,
Miz
Piper's
TV.
Pit.
That's
Yeah,
all we have. Miz
yeah,
TV, and you get an
yep,
occasional what is it? VIP lounge with
yeah,
MVP. They all
yep.
feel the same.
So that's my
It's awesome.
assignment for you. I want you to watch those Piper's Pits. You'll love them.
You know what?
And
I
flower
will. I
shop.
will check them out. I will
You will.
definitely check them out. Um, okay, so that's hot takes, and we are down to our final question for the week. Tom, who won the week? Was it Raw? Was it SmackDown? Was it neither?
Neither. I can't pick a winner here. I'll say Liv Morgan won the weekend and Ricochet.
Yeah, you know,
Uh,
I'll give it to Raw because
Oh,
I
we
was
didn't. Yeah,
more entertained. I guess.
it was more okay. It was more entertaining for take that for what it's worth. Um,
Mhm.
Rollins and Owens had a solid match. We didn't get into this, but I was so confused by the ending.
You
You know,
see, that
I
is
listened to last week's
yeah.
Busted Open Radio with Bubba, and I'm gonna call him Bubba because he's always Bubba to me. He's not Bully. I don't know what Bully is. He's Bubba.
He's
Talking to
both
like you
to me.
shouldn't be watching and be confused at the end. Like the guy's going around for 3 hours apologizing, saying he's your friend, and he attacks him and beats the shit out of him. Like,
Ah, I would have to see the context of that, but you can't watch something and be confused at the end. Isn't that a cliffhanger for next week?
no, it just didn't make sense. He went around talking to everybody, trying to like to get their forgiveness, and I looked up to him like I look up to you. I didn't, I really did not want to hit him last week, and then he just attacks him and beats the shit out of him.
I will give it to WWE because it's kind of like the pressure got to Kevin Owens in a way. It's like he's trying to get
If
everyone's
that's what they
forgiveness.
wanted to do, because at Survivor Series, it's probably it's Big E versus Roman they announced, right?
Yep.
They should have done it slower build to it. It shouldn't have happened the next friggin' week. WWE
Yeah.
is terrible at building anything anymore,
Yeah.
but they just
Yeah.
made it happen already. So
I mean, this has been the case for how long
like
now
maybe
that
you
we've
do
got
it
no
for like
build.
a month of Kevin Owens trying to prove to him I wasn't, and then he gets so frustrated that Big E doesn't believe him, then he beats the shit out of him for not believing him. Would have
Yeah.
been a better story for me.
I think
And to
anything
me,
could have
I
been a
kind of
better
feel like
story.
they're going. Yes, you're right. I feel like they're going all in on Kevin Owens now, trying to get him to stay.
Oh yeah.
And I
I
don't think
told you
that's going
that
to
was going to
happen.
happen. I have
Yeah,
said any time that mentioned Kevin Owens, it was either they're going all in or they're burying him. And now they're turning him heel. They're going
Mike
putting him up against Big
Bellcaster
E.
won the week. What's up,
Mike
Mike
Bellcaster.
Bellcaster?
Welcome. You're in the wrong side of town. Your show is tomorrow. What are you doing watching the
Oh my
WWE show?
God! Screw Happy Corbin. I
Happy
know
Corbin.
Mike
There's
Bellcaster.
exactly. There's 15 talk shows, and
Yeah,
Happy Corbin is just one of them. They're all the
yeah.
same. You're not doing enough jumping
I
jacks.
stopped doing my jumping jacks. It didn't help, Mike, and I was getting out of breath. So
Yeah, I'll give it to Raw.
yeah,
You
I
know,
would agree. I mean, if
but
you put a gun to my head, I mean, it's because Vince wasn't
Christ,
there.
spruce up this bullshit. Lee, we're doing the best we can here. We're talking about Piper's Pit, Adrian Adonis. There's only so
Yeah.
much we could do here to talk about Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, you just look at the card and it's like, I even kind of liked the Lashley stuff. I like that they put Lashley in instead of Dominic, I should
Well, it
say.
made
'Cause-
sense. I agree.
Yeah.
It made sense. I
Well,
mean,
that makes me think are there going to be changes to the SmackDown team now?
I'm sure. And here's we want my hot take. It's
Yes.
really not a hot take,
Hmm.
and I'll probably get crucified for this. But Dominic, if he wasn't Ray's son, he's
Yeah.
terrible. Just terrible.
I think he's a good high flyer.
Terrible.
I think he does the high
Yeah, I
flying
wish he'd
stuff
high
good.
fly somewhere else off of my TV. Oh.
I think he does the high flying stuff good. Like I watch him and it's he does the cool stuff. But like he had a good match with Sami
And I
Zayn.
can't stand him carrying his friggin' father on his back. What the hell is
That's
that?
stupid. That is so dumb.
It's so dumb. That's just
It's
shit.
weird. It's
It
weird
is
is what it
weird.
is.
I'm never letting my father jump on my back and carrying him down to the ring or to the kitchen,
It's almost
whatever
as
it may
weird as
be.
Tom Brady kissing his kids on the lips, but
Yeah.
that's another
Or
discussion
the
for
owner of
another
the
day.
Patriots, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's
who are we to judge?
yeah, right. Go Patriots. So that's it. Like we ran down everything. We I guess Raw won, if anything won this week.
You're
Is
not
there
wrong.
anything
Mike.
else that
We
we
are
didn't?
entertaining.
Yes,
We
we
are
are.
entertaining.
Like I said, we are the only WWE review show that you need to listen to on a weekly basis. We give you hot takes. We give you Raw. We give you SmackDown. We give you NXT. No, we don't give you NXT.
Did you
but,
say they give us hotcakes? Ooh.
I wish.
Yeah.
Did you see Dunkin' Donuts is starting to sell mini pancakes?
No, but I would imagine they'd be very good.
I haven't had them yet. I need.
When is that
to.
starting?
It started. They're in. They're in there like swimwear. You got to go get them. A limited time only.
Oh man, they might be really good.
I know. I remember
Wow,
once
I'm
they
gonna
had
have to
like an apple cider drink that was like iced, and they just don't have it nowadays. I figured the fall they would have it now, but
I
I don't know.
like when they
Maybe I
get
was
that blue
dreaming.
Hawaii drink in the summer. They don't get it every year, or the
I
watermelon
never
one.
had that.
So good.
I gotta expand my Dunkin' portfolio, my the stuff that I've tried.
Yeah, I love their frozen coffees. Let me ask you a question before we go off there. This is press and
Yes.
matter.
Okay.
I can't stand the taste of real maple syrup. I like the I'm trying to think of a brand so I don't get in trouble. I want to say Aunt Jemima, but I don't think that's a brand anymore.
The milling company, what is it called now?
Yeah, I don't even
I
know
know
what
what
it's
you're
called.
talking about.
But I like
But,
syrup, like that type of syrup.
yes,
I
I do
can't
too.
stand the taste of real maple syrup.
I don't know if I've had real maple syrup. I'm gonna say that I haven't
Yeah, I
because
don't like
all
it.
syrup. Because
And
I've only ever had it from the bottle, like the formerly known as Aunt Jemima
yes.
syrup, and
And
that's
if
good.
I
That's
put
good to me.
syrup on waffles or pancakes, it's got to be cold, out of the refrigerator cold. I don't like warm syrup.
Yeah, I don't really mind either way, to be honest.
Okay. And
But
listen, let's bring this up for a second. I was planning on talking about this tomorrow night on the AEW wrap up show. But did you read that Eddie Kingston article from the Players Tribune?
no, I saw it. I need to go in and
Yeah.
check that out.
Everybody go check out that article. I sat there, I read the whole thing tonight. Amazing article. We'll talk about that more tomorrow night, but amazing
Yeah.
article. Go Eddie Kingston. Like you fucking rule. So
Go
good
Eddie
for you.
Kingston, bro. He's the
Or
MVP for this week in the RAWDOWN.
the raw syrup.
Raw syrup down.
It'll make this show a little more interesting.
Yeah, right. Put a little syrup on it.
Egon Page is
Pages
all
the
the
best
maples.
maples in the best way possible.
Egon.
I couldn't tell you. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for an amazing episode. Thank you for tuning in to the RAWDOWN. Before we go, make sure you're supporting the Turnbuckle Tavern in any way possible. Tom, tell the people how they can support the Turnbuckle Tavern.
Go to the turnbuckletavern.com. You're going to see a list of all of our links there, all of our social media, our Twitch, our Facebook, our YouTube. Make sure you're following us everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, leave a review, send it to us. Get entered into our huge ass contest. And I know I keep saying we're going to announce all the prizes really soon, but we're going to do it. This time I'm going to say really, really soon. And
by really, really soon, that's Tom's way of saying eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But, sooner rather than later. It's not later.
That's Tom and
it's
Knees
sooner.
for we'll do it eventually.
Yes, it's coming. Trust me. We're all working
coming.
on what we're giving away. Like I said, Becky Lynch signed autograph elite coming out of my personal collection. When we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, make sure you follow us. Make sure you send it to us. Use your mom's phone. Use your sister's phone. Use your neighbor's phone. Steal a phone. I don't care. Just send us the screenshot and you'll get an entry. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. So go to the turnbuckletavern.com. Listen to all of our podcasts coming at you Monday through Saturday. That's it. And make sure you're following us here on YouTube because you get the RAWDOWN show on Tuesday night. You get the AEW wrap-up show on Wednesday night. And on Thursday night, you're getting Fig Night. And this week, Thursday, when Fig Night goes off, we've got Hanging at the Tavern. You're going to be at Hanging at the Tavern, young Anthony? All
I
right.
should be at Hanging at the Tavern.
Yeah, he's got to get his fake ID ready.
I know, right? Y'all got a MySpace? Maybe one day.
You know, we'll have to create. Does Justin Timberlake? What an investment that was! Wow,
ridiculous.
Talk about buying at the wrong time.
Yeah, right. Just a quick plug before we get off the air. Classic Match Classroom every Sunday. Make sure you go check it out. I didn't mean to plug it after the Turnbuckle Tavern stuff, but like they just had to throw it in there. Make sure you check out every Sunday, new episode. We just released one on the Montreal Screwjob. Today is the anniversary of it. So why not celebrate the most infamous, controversial moment in WWE history than listening to me, a young man who wasn't even born during it, talk about
because he was in his dad's
sack. You're right. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for yet another great edition of the RAWDOWN. I have been young Anthony. This has been this old man that I picked up from off the street. Love, peace, and pro wrestling.
You just called me an old man off the street?
I had to.